Okay, guys, I'm going to put you guys into a Desmos, and what we're going to have to do is a little bit of, it's going to be a little disjointed. So we're going to, what it's going to be a little of Desmos, then to a Booklet, then to a handout, and then back to a Desmos. So we're going to be jumping around a little bit. It's kind of how I teach sometimes. And the first thing I want you to look at is what are we going to do to graph this? And if we remember with our graphing skills, you have to identify certain things. So first thing I want you to do is when you're graphing, you're supposed to look here at this y-intercept. And if you could for me, go ahead and plot where you think this 2 is supposed to go on this graph. And remember, I called it the y-intercept. We got to go over our vocabulary, okay? So the 2 is going to go at the positive 2, right here. Okay? Right on the y. And then from there, we either rise and run, we're going to rise and run, or we're going to fall and run. We're never going to go to the left. We're never going to go to the left. We're either going to rise and go to the right or fall and go to the right, okay? So what are we going to do with 1 over 4? 1 over 4 is a positive fraction. This is our slope, remember? This is our slope. This is our y-intercept. So our slope is 1/4. Do you see a negative sign at all? No. So this is a positive slope, so you're going to rise 1 and run 4. Go ahead and graph that. If I rise 1 and run 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, all right, then it's going to be right here. And then go ahead and give me a straight line. Use the straight line tool. And when you do this, you're going to notice something. I want you to start noticing also the other point. Do you see the other point on this screen? It is right here. The other point on the line, I mean. And doesn't that make sense? Aren't we going up 1 over 4 this way too? Ooh, is it 5? Uh-oh. Yeah, so it's actually going to be, hold on, let me redo my line. Sometimes it's tough to do the line exactly. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1. So it's going to be right here. So let me do this more accurately. There it is. Okay, so where the point actually ends up is going to be right here. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Here we go. Next problem. All right, go ahead. Oh, let's just go over the negative slope again. So go ahead and plot your y-intercept. You guys got this. Plot your y-intercept. Hopefully you put it right there. Then it's negative. Notice the negatives here, but didn't I remind you guys, you got to put it on the numerator. It shouldn't go here. It shouldn't go there. It should always go to the numerator, the top number. And it's going to be -1 to the right 3, to the right, always to the right. So as we do this, we're going to go down. It's negative. Down 1 to the right 3. So down 1 to the right 1, 2, 3. All right. Straight line. As straight as you can. And now I messed up on that one because I still want you guys to realize, are there down 1 over 3? And I know this is going to be a point there too. So let's go here, down 1 over 3. And that's more perfect of a line. Down 1 over 3. What if I went the same pattern? Isn't that a point there? Isn't that a point there? Okay. All right, next slide. Go ahead and fill this out. I'll give you guys about 30 seconds. Feel free to push pause, Miss Alonzo. All right, if we're looking at this, the y-intercept's kind of tough because it's way up here, but that's going to be positive. What's that going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Positive 5. So that y-intercept's 5. You could put +5 too. That's fine. I'm not going to hate on that. All right, either way, it's not letting me, but if you did +5, that's okay. What is the slope? Well, this one's interesting. We're going down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1, down 3 to the right 1, down 3 over 1. That's perfect. Okay. All right, well, what's the equation? Let's write the equation out properly. Y equals -3x plus 5. All right. That's clean. This is perfect. I love this slide because it makes me know that you understand the slope, the y-intercept, and the equation. Don't get these mixed up. Don't put these in the wrong place. Remember, y-intercept would be your starting point. I had $5, and then I spend $3 every minute. All right. Let's just say it was a crazy video game that would charge you $3 every minute you played it. That'd be crazy, right? All right. Next one. Submit that. Go to the next slide. All right, what is the y-intercept? You guys go ahead and solve this one for me. Push pause. -3. What's the slope? Rising 3, running 2. What's the equation? Y equals -3x plus 3 over 2. Submit it. All right, what's the y-intercept here? And what is the actual meaning of the y-intercept? Go ahead and push pause and try to answer this one. Well, the y-intercept is between 0 and 2,000, so it's actually going to be 1,000. And what is that actual meaning? Well, the savings account at 0 months, so the savings account started, before you started really saving, you put $1,000 in the account to start. Before you started saving, you had $1,000 you put into the account, okay? Then you saved, what, 1,000 every 2 months? You didn't have to answer that part. Okay, go ahead and write this equation out. Give you a little bit of time, push pause. Y equals, is it 1 over 4x minus 1? Okay. And then let's go ahead and do this last one. You do it on your own. +2. You're going to go down 1 over 1. Negative x, remember, is actually -1 over 1. So down 1 over 1. All right. And then let's go ahead and go straight line. Boom. And there's your actual line. Okay. At this time, I would like you guys to close your computers. We're going to change gears right now. So what's going to happen, let me get my computer ready. Go ahead and pass out that handout, Miss Alonzo. And let's see if we can get me off the screen. And let's go ahead and solve some of these problems from the handout. And it's going to get a little interesting, okay? All right, let me focus this. This is like that crazy blurriness going on here. All right, here we go. The first one's kind of tough because the grid's not there, but I want to know what the equation is. What's the slope? What's the y-intercept? All right, remember there's an x there? Go ahead and try to fill this out for me. If you see 0 here, you know it's down 1, so it's going to be -1. And then you're going to rise 1, 2 over 1. Rising 2, running 1. All right, super simple. I'm not so worried about these ones on the side here. I'm more concerned about what we're going to get to on this side. So let's just go ahead and review this. All right, look at this one. What's this going to be? This one's kind of interesting. You have to find where the points are. It's kind of difficult. All right, so it's going to be a point there and a point there. Okay, so now you're going to go down 1, down 2, down 3, over 1, over 2, over 3, over 4, over 5. First of all, you're at +1. I messed that up. And you're going to go down 1, down 2, down 3, over 1, over 2, over 3, over 4, over 5. Down 3, over 5. That's perfect. Okay? Keep it going. What about this one? -2. And we're going to rise 2. Rise 2, 1, 2, run 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 over 4. Okay? And then could you reduce that? 1 over 2. You could make 2 over 4 into 1/2. Okay? All right. Now it gets a little more intense. You're going to do a handful of these. I want you to try to figure out what these equations are and write them down here. And then when you see it, you're going to be like, oh, this is kind of what we've been doing. So let's do this first one. I see this is what? Y equals +10. And we're rising 1, running 1. So 1x. All right, what about this one? Y equals +2. Rising 1, 2, 3 over 1. All right, I know I went quick there. I'll have Miss Alonzo pause it for the next one to see if we can figure this out. Now, when you have two of these equations, do you remember what to do? We're going to set these equal to each other. And it depends how you set it up, where you're going to have to deal with a little bit of negatives, but this is okay. Look what I just did there. I put this here. You know how to do this. Push pause and go ahead and solve this. You're going to subtract 2x and get -x plus 10 equals 2. And you subtract 10, You're going to get negative x equals negative 8. Divide the negative 1, x equals positive 8. If you plug in x here, 8 times 1 is 8, plus 10 equals 18. Okay? All right, go ahead and try this next one. We're going to go ahead and go up 1 over 1. So again, this one's going to be the same one we just had before, right? 1x plus 10. I didn't mean to do that, but I did. And then this one's going to be at positive 2, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1 over 2. 4 over 2x, that's going to change into something. 2x plus 2. Okay? So that's interesting. You have both of these problems here. We changed this one, so that one doesn't look that way. Let's go ahead and set it up the best you can. All right? And then solve it. All right, I'm not going to do all these for you. You guys can work together and check your answers with your partners. When you flip it over, go ahead and try these ones for me as well, the best you can. I don't have answers for you. I've ran out of time for the video, but hopefully you guys can do the best you can.